Hey
Hello,
guys.
everybody. Hello, everybody. How
Hiya.
are we this fine evening? Welcome back to the Super Mega Cast. We're your hosts, Ryan McGee and Matt Watson.
True.
So true.
True.
I'm Ryan, by the way.
All right, I'll take it. Yeah. Look at me. I
I
look
mean, I
like
mean, look.
I look like I'm not okay.
So, what you're saying? Matt Watson is not okay?
To some extent.
Oh, I get you. I get you. But yeah, lads, welcome back to Lads on Tape, episode dos. Willkommen, and yeah,
Yeah, it's been a
free
while.
free
It's been a while.
been a while. Freeform podcast thing haven't been first episode. High key a bit successful for us, I'd say, because it was a very actually how many views is it even on now? Because it was actually ridiculous how well it did for us.
3 to 400.
3 to 400, very good, very swag. I like,
Yeah.
but yeah, welcome back to another Lads on Tape, where we just shoot the shit, talk about whatever we want, and yeah. So nostalgia, how are you doing on this fine evening?
Great. Tired. Had a long day at work, but been
Of
looking
course.
forward to this, to bringing this series back.
Yeah,
How have you
likewise,
been?
likewise. I've been lazy. I've been mad lazy. You know what? I've been all right. The album grind is still going on. I'm somehow still not finished my year-end lists. Um, playing a shit. I played the new Dead Space remake today. Started doing that, so that was awesome.
Hmm.
Very good game so far. And yeah, now we're here. Here we are.
We're here. Yeah.
We're here.
Got a lot to talk about. I think first of all, since it's our first episode of this series of the year, I think it's only natural to start by talking about 2023. Maybe some of our
2023.
goals with the channel for the year. Some albums we're anticipating this year. Stuff along those lines.
Yeah, of
So
course.
Mick, let me ask you,
Okay.
what's your biggest ambition with the channel or with YouTube in general for 2023?
Actually upload on the MickyT channel for once. That's one thing that is on the cards, and I will hopefully have time to do when I actually graduate. And I suppose with the cassette tape, I'm actually really hoping that we get the channel to, I'll think reasonable 500 subscribers, which it won't be that hard to get. I hope. That's. I
I'm
mean, if we
I'm
if
thinking
we
1,000.
you're thinking I was gonna say a
I'm
thousand, but I
thinking a
don't.
thousand.
I didn't want to shoot too high though.
Hey,
That's the
shoot
thing.
high. If you miss, you're still high
But
enough.
look, if we play our cards right,
There's
and
definitely a more poetic way to phrase that.
yeah, but if we play our cards right, who knows? Might just happen. But like, of course, I'll just say it's a short term goal. Then 500 is a short term.
Nah,
Then
more. If we get a
maybe
thousand this year, I'll get, I don't know, some shitty tattoo or something.
I'll get a cassette tape tattooed.
I was thinking today, what would be funny as a tattoo? McLovin's driver's license from Superbad. I'd love that.
Oh
This is some
no!
deep nostalgia lore, but my nickname in secondary school, so like high school, was always McLovin.
Why was it always
Cause
McLovin? What?
one time I introduced myself to someone as McLovin, and then that's just spiraled into like half the town called me McLovin. So, yeah,
Oh,
I'll
that
get a
is.
McLovin tattoo if we get 1,000. So,
I'll join you in that because that's funny.
because I feel like a cassette tape tattoo is actually like a good, like decent, like normal tattoo. No one would
Yeah.
question it.
No.
Not on my
Well,
arm. I'm not gonna get it there.
I mean, I love Superbad, so I would actually
Yeah,
unironically do it. I fucking loved Superbad growing up. Like one of my favorite movies when I was a wee little lad.
Still one of my favorite comedies.
Yeah, still same here as well. Well, no, the scene where he actually just shows off the driving license still always just
Yeah.
gets me, or whatever. Not the driving license, the age card. It's
It's a
too fucking
driver's
fun.
license. It's a Hawaiian driver's license, I think.
A Hawaiian driver's license with the name like loving.
No second name. Oh, yeah, that's iconic.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
That movie's too good.
I do quickly want to speak on something going forward this year. Last year our release schedule was, I mean, for the most part we did an episode a week, but what day of the week that episode came out was largely just whenever it was ready. But
Yeah, because so much shit would always come up and always like kind of put us off our track, and you know that's why sometimes you wouldn't even get an episode for like a couple of weeks even
yeah,
at the worst.
that's
But
why
like,
this year I want to have a schedule for podcast releases.
hmm
So January aside, we're doing 2 regular episodes in January, 2 podcast episodes in January, one of the tape podcasts, and this one you're watching right now. But afterwards, we're gonna do podcast episode followed by stream followed by podcast episode. So there'd be a podcast episode every consecutive week, every other week, and then every other week there'd be a stream. Um, I want to get those podcast episodes out on Wednesdays every week, every other week, and on Patreon on Sundays. I want to have that as a weekly thing. I'm going to do my best to stick to that. So,
yeah,
new podcast every other Wednesday. Call it. You heard it here first. Every other Wednesday. I'll try and stick to it. For patrons, every other Sunday. Streams
yeah,
will happen on
and
Saturdays generally, but sometimes Sundays.
and also, Miha, I am open to editing if ever you need me to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, right now I think you're probably busier than I am.
I probably
January
am, to be
and
fair.
February are, for me, pretty dry months. So I'm okay
Honestly,
with
these next few months are going to be brutal for me. I won't even lie.
I can edit. It's fine.
But you know what? Whenever I'm always open to trying to edit something.
Hire an editor with our
Hire
patron money.
let's hire an editor with the patron money. Yeah, we'll give him 10%. How about that? That's about like what, €2?
Two quid.
£2.
Is there
If anyone
somewhere
wants to
you
be
can
our
put it
editor
on
for
your
£2 a month,
portfolio? It's the experience
maybe.
that counts. The
It
experience
is actually.
priceless.
Yeah. So consistency is actually another thing that I think we should probably strive for when it comes to the podcast for 2023. And as well as that, I'm always like, on stream, sometimes we always do, we're always reacting to stuff. And I want to try and get on top of the album reactions and get them out as soon as possible instead of waiting 4 months to actually finish editing one,
You know what happens.
It happens. It's a pain in the ass, but look, it
Yeah.
will happen. And whenever I can edit, I will. But as far as podcast stuff goes, I'll be fine for that.
Yeah.
So you're just listening to music, jotting notes, boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Podcast goes on.
Album reaction wise, there's going to be a lot coming up soon. In February, we've got a few planned. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I know those.
Stay tuned.
Those are usually bangers. But yeah, I think that's most of our aspirations for this channel, at least. I also hope to upload more this year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and get reviews out anytime I feel like an album is worthy of a review.
Yeah, exactly.
Also,
I'm gonna do the same.
Gonna try and start getting back into reviewing stuff on Rate Your Music Album of the Year, even when it's not a video review. I don't know. I kind of missed that like feedback loop of kind of discussion and posting a review and seeing what people are saying.
Yeah, I think another aim for me is like to improve my writing a bit as well, because at points maybe I could just kind of fall off the beaten path and just like kind of regurgitate like some of the same kind of structured stuff I'd always do, but I'd actually like to write better and like make my reviews just more professional, I'd say.
Grammarly, I always put any review through Grammarly before I sent, because I used
You
to
absolute cheat.
And the type, I don't notice the typos. They used to be insane. Like I'd look back at some of my most liked reviews from like years gone by, and I'd notice like the most ridiculous, like I'd put in a word like 3 times back to back or something, or I'd leave out like 3 words in a sentence and it made absolutely no sense. It was just broken English. And
that has happened to me a couple of times, to be fair. Not that exact one, but like in some of my most liked reviews, there's definitely like a spelling mistake in there.
Yeah, and it's
and
so
then
funny because
how the fuck did I not notice?
I try my best to like format it as like professionally as possible. Album of the year. Please let me do album titles in italics, so I don't have to do them. That's annoying. But like,
I'll leave a suggestion for that in the AOTY server. How about that?
Please, it's just I want album titles in italics and then song titles double quotations. Mwah. I can do it on Rate Your Music and it's perfect, but on album of the year I have to just single quotations. But it's just funny when like I try to do that, but then the first sentence of the review has like 6 typos. So thank you, Grammarly. We're not
Okay, shout
sponsored.
outs to Grammarly for saving this boy right here. But speaking of albums, is there any particular albums that you're excited for 2023? Because it's a bit of anticipation for a bunch of things. A bunch of stuff has been announced, and just interested to hear what you gotta say.
All right, maybe we'll bounce ideas back and forth. I'll start with one that is definitely coming out. Some of these, I guess, might be just wishful thinking. The new Paramore.
Of course.
Still very much looking forward to that. The most
Yeah,
recent single, admittedly, I think was solid, but definitely.
Wait, is it the one that got the title in French?
Yeah.
I won't even lie. I just straight up did not like that one at all. It's like one of my least favorite singles of the year so far.
Was it this year? I thought it was the end of last year.
No, it's 2023. I'm fairly certain, like the beginning. I think.
Oh well.
I could be wrong, but I will double check for you. I'll fact check right now.
Well, yeah, that one I still liked it, but it wasn't amazing.
Yeah.
However, the other
12th of January. The other singles have been very good.
Yeah, the other single's brilliant, so definitely excited about that. There's a few I can think of. And you got anything on your mind?
I think it's not been announced, but I would really like a new Run the Jewels album this year. That would be pretty dope to see Killer Mike and LP back again. But I know they take their time when they drop. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So who fucking knows when it actually be a thing? Could be next year, probably. Like I can't even remember how long we were waiting for RTJ like 4
years,
like,
right?
Something like that.
26
so,
RTJ 3 was 4. It was December 2016.
Yeah.
So it's a year, yeah. A year-ish.
Yeah.
But,
something like that.
I don't think Run the Jewels are the type of band to kind of follow such a strict schedule. I think they release when they're ready.
Yeah.
What else? New Gorillas, of course.
Yeah.
Cracker
New
Island,
Gorillas,
which I've really liked all of the singles so far. I haven't heard the most recent one. I think it came out yesterday or the day before.
I liked most of the singles. There were a couple that are hit or miss for me, but like most of them were pretty good. At best, fantastic. So yeah, of course, I'm always excited for a new Gorillaz album.
Yeah.
Well, ever since Song Machine came out.
Yeah,
so,
even before that, I still was excited. It's just the Gorillaz I'll always be excited for. They can release 7 shitty albums back to back, and I'll still.
Oh God,
I find Ruben hard for them.
I mean, for a while there, it was just kind of stagnant for me for obvious reasons. So, you know.
Yeah, but even then, I had some singles that I really loved from Humans, so even then I held on to something.
Yeah, you have something at least. I'm excited for the new Kalela album. The singles for that have been absolutely phenomenal, so I'm very much anticipating that one. I think the most recent single so far is my favorite single of the year. So there's that. I think that's dropping in February, and I'm excited to hear the album because there's a couple of singles that dropped last year that were fantastic. So that's another big one that I'm hyped for.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't been hot on all the singles, but every single one kind of to me hinted towards this project being like something bigger. Like there's like a bigger picture that I'm not fully seeing with the singles, so I really want to see how it all comes together. And a similar album, an album with a similar kind of I guess backstory for me is the new Caroline Polachek.
Oh yeah,
the singles have
Caroline
all
Polachek.
been really, really good, especially Billions.
They have,
but I just feel like there's something rumbling that it's all going to lead to something bigger, and I'm really excited to see what she comes out with because the singles have been definitely quality.
Yeah, I'm mad excited for that one as well. Caroline Polachek put out some fucking mint singles, so that's going to be huge.
Billions is one of my favorite songs of last year, for sure.
Yeah. Shame are dropping an album this year as well. There's promise there. I thought the single that they dropped recently was very good. So
yeah, better than what we've heard from them on their previous album for sure. Promising. Eve's Two More. Their newest
Eve?
single was brilliant. So that's kind of a sleeper one. I'm really looking forward to see what they can bring to the table. If it's
I'm trying to
anything,
remember if I heard that Eve's Two More single. I'm trying to remember if I
I
did.
added it to the playlist at one point. So if you got through it, you did at one point hear it.
I probably did. Bit of a bad sign if I don't remember it, probably.
I fucking love the
But
song.
like, sure you did. New Slow Tie album as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be interesting. Single that released, pretty different for Slow Tie, kind of synth punky a bit, but
Doorman vibes.
not necessarily Doorman
Well,
vibes, but
Doorman
like,
proved that he can do punky. So
I mean, yeah, like if anyone can, I think Slow Tie can, but like we'll have to see how it turns out. But like, I'm excited for this. I mean, I'm always excited for a Slow Tie album, to be honest. I still think Tyron is very underrated.
yeah,
And of course, Nothing Great About Britain is banger.
yeah. I'm also excited for. I kind of keep forgetting this is coming, and my excitement kind of keeps drooping. But then I keep remembering, oh my god, it's just around the corner, a new 100 Gex album, which I honestly, the more I listen to Doritos and Fritos, the more I think it's one of their best tracks. Um, and yeah, it's such a question mark. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, um, yeah, I really just want to hear what they come up with because even based off the singles, yeah, I don't think you can get a good idea of what what they're cooking.
Look, I just hope it's good. I just hope it's good.
If it's not, then I hope it's entertaining at least, and I think it will be.
I mean, I still love 1000 Gex.
Yeah,
But the stuff they've kind of dropped post 1000 Gex hasn't really been doing it for me. Apart from the remix album. The remix album was pretty solid. But the singles and that EP they dropped a little while back, I mean, there was one song off that EP I did really like, but like, I don't know, it's not really hitting the same. I don't think anyway. But either way, like, it's good to hear new material from 100 Gex. So that's gonna be an interesting one to check out.
Oh wow, I'm looking at album of the year. There's a new national album coming in
Yeah,
April.
new national album got announced.
Oh,
I'm still very much a novice when it comes to the national though, so I'm gonna have to do my research.
Have you listened to Sleep Well Beast at least?
I don't think I have.
Oh, that's a vinyl I've got to lend you. Oh, incredible album.
I still have your Pogues vinyl. I haven't spun it.
In my opinion, it's the best album. It's not the popular consensus, but that album is just brilliant, man. One of my favorite guitar albums of the 2010s.
I'll have to hear it.
But yeah, I'm looking through this.
I'm looking through as well. New Boy Genius record. New Boy Genius. Triple single drop the other day.
Did you see their? I don't know what they posted for, but they recreated the Nirvana.
Yeah, they recreated the Nirvana
sick.
Rolling Stone. The Nirvana Rolling Stone cover. That was so good.
It was Rolling Stone, yeah. Oh, that was brilliant. It's a new Lana album as well, actually. And the single was really good, in my opinion. So
I didn't really care for the single, to be honest.
The single did hint towards more of a return to the Norman fucking Rockwell sound. So, I mean, in my opinion, that's the best she's ever done, and
yeah, absolutely,
can only be a good
thing.
I
mean, this one, the lyrics kind of turned me off, but like, that's fucking Lana Del Rey lyrics. What are you gonna do? But what else is coming out? There's a bit of a red flag for me on this one, but like, I'm remaining optimistic. Metallica are coming out with an album this year, but like, I don't know if I want to be too optimistic because it's a post Black Album Metallica album, but like, so far it's not sounding like Saint Anger, so I'm thankful for that. Or fucking whatever the one they dropped after that was, the one that had like another really shit mix, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know
it's a new Metallica album coming out.
I staying away from having any expectations. I refuse to have any expectations. I'm just going to go into it and just see what happens because I don't want to get excited for a Metallica album in 2022, but I also don't want to be a Debbie Downer about it. So I'll just I be content with whatever I get.
Well, if there's one thing that I'm not gonna be that optimistic for, it's a new Smashing Pumpkins album. Oh boy.
It's a different band at this point. It doesn't feel
I
like.
it's literally just not, it's just not Smashing Pumpkins anymore. It's just something else and I hate it.
Isn't there's a Swans album announced? Oh, was it announced or?
It was announced like 2 years ago. We don't know when that album is actually gonna drop.
I mean, on album of the year it says June 2023. So.
I don't know.
Um.
But it was announced fucking ages ago.
Right. That's enough of all the things that are announced or
Yeah.
likely to happen. What are some dream scenarios for you? What band do you want or artist do you want to see release an album this year that hasn't announced anything?
That's a tough one. Shit. There's a lot. My mind is kind of racing right now. I'm not too sure. Do you have any? Like
Yeah,
right now, I'm still trying to think.
Car Seat Headrest, man.
It's actually been a while
yeah,
since we've had anything new from Car Seat Headrest.
It's going to be 3 years this year, and like Will Toledo was releasing albums for fun back in his early days. So yeah, I want something, anything.
You're starving.
Yeah, I'm starving.
Bro is utterly starving.
Mm-hmm. So that's one for me for sure.
Yeah.
My Bloody Valentine, but I say that every year, and I feel like I'm just gonna keep saying that.
You're gonna keep saying it. You're gonna keep saying it until you go insane.
It's like apparently they've been cooking.
But have they been cooking?
But what are they cooking?
What are they cooking?
It's taking a while.
Taking
the stove even on?
Is it? It's taken a wee bit.
So...
Here's one I thought of. I know he just dropped an album. Technically, dropped an album this year, but it was an instrumental album, and I'd like a new Mac DeMarco record that actually has Mac DeMarco on it.
Yeah, it's also been a while.
Yeah, when did Here Comes the Cowboy come out again?
2019, I believe.
So it's been
4 years
almost
this
4
year.
years. 4 years this year since Mac DeMarco dropped anything.
Yeah.
Yeesh. I've been going back to a lot of old Mac DeMarco. I won't even lie. So that would be huge if they would drop. If you would drop him in. Look.
I'd love if you went on tour again. It's such a good show.
I'd go see him live.
I'd make you.
Of course, we'd meet him outside a pub.
Also, this is a bit of a yeah. I've told that story. I swear to God, probably on the last episode we did. This is a bit of a left field pick, but 15-year anniversary of Death Consciousness. Maybe, and You Have a Nice Life record. Maybe.
Possibly, mayhaps.
But if there was ever a band that's just feels like they'll release an album whenever, it's them. But I mean,
you know what else is a dream scenario? Actually, My Bloody Valentine.
Come on, yeah.
How'd you forget My Bloody Valentine?
I literally said My Bloody Valentine like 3 minutes ago.
No, you didn't.
I think I say it so much that it just like becomes background noise. Me wanting a new My Bloody. That's what I was talking about a minute
I swear
ago.
you didn't. I swear you didn't. Either that or I'm sleep deprived.
I think you're
either that or I'm just dumb.
After Car Seat Headrest, I said My Bloody Valentine.
I didn't hear you say it. I'm probably just dumb then. My bad.
What about? I mean, Johnny and Tom have been working on music.
That's what I was about to say. Radiohead, maybe.
LP10, maybe.
LP10 would be fucking massive.
Yeah,
that would be absolutely huge.
That would be. I still feel like that is. I mean, Shea Pool isn't their last album, and I'm sure of it.
I don't think. I hope it's not. I wouldn't be surprised if it would be their last album, but if LP10 was to be a thing, I would love to hear it. Please, Tom, please. Actually, I thought of someone. Aphex Twin.
Oh yeah.
It's been how long since Styro? Like that came out like 2016.
For some reason, I don't really see that happening though. I feel like.
I mean, Aphex Twin does his own thing. You never know with him.
Just kind of chilling. Richard, come back.
Portishead would be awesome,
Mm.
but like, I don't know if Jeff Barrow is too busy like producing shit for movies. But like, I mean, but like Beth Gibbons was on the last Kendrick Lamar album. She's still active, so
Yeah,
who
or
knows?
maybe a Beth Gibbons solo album. Then, if not, I'll
I
take
would,
that.
I'd actually love a Beth Gibbons
Yeah.
solo album. That would be really cool.
Fiona Apple as well. It's been three
Yeah.
years. She doesn't release that often, so I'm not gonna hold on to hope. But
How wait? There was like a 10-year gap between Idler
yeah,
Wheel and fucking
so
and Fetch the Bolt Cutters, wasn't
that's
there?
optimistic. But
That's
I'd
very
love it.
optimistic, I'd say.
I'd love a new one.
Yeah.
Um.
Hmm.
Oh, Death
There's,
Grips, of course.
of course, Death
There's
Grips. I
talks of
forgot
a new
about.
Death Grips project, so
Aren't they
maybe
touring? Like, isn't there
yeah,
like
I'm pretty
tour
sure they're
dates?
touring.
Fucking
So
massive.
if they have time in between the dates, then that would be pretty sick.
That would be
Um,
really cool.
yeah.
So there's potential there for Death Grips. I hope it materializes.
Mm,
But like, you never know. You never know with Death Grips.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, if we've got a lot of
There's definitely a
yeah.
ton that will come to mind. Like if we keep going on
Mhm.
and on, but like I don't want to keep going on and
Yeah,
on
we've got
because we have more pressing
yeah,
matters to talk about now.
like like what, Mick?
Ugh, Pink Floyd Reborn.
Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? He brought the walk to Poland, and he brought the walk to prog rock.
Yeah,
Call that Purple Floyd.
the
Lil
Walk always
Yachty
wanted
dropped
to
a
visit.
psychedelic rock album. What the
Yeah,
fuck
I
is
mean,
going on anymore?
the more I think about it, the less I can't even comprehend it. So I don't know. I'm going through all the stages of grief at once in the cycle. I don't know
Stages of
what.
grief.
Except it's not grief; it's just confusion. It's just
You're in a state of confusion.
yeah.
We'll just leave it at
Um.
that. But like, yeah. So yeah, Lil Yachty has dropped a psychedelic rock album yesterday, and everyone is talking about it. It is being hyped up to the fucking heavens. Everyone is talking about it. It's getting great reviews. Apologies, my camera just shit itself there. But yeah, we're living in a simulation because Lil Yachty dropped a psychedelic rock album. Like I said, getting pretty good reviews all around. Everyone's hyping it up. Everyone's excited about it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just fucking strange. Like to be honest,
Yeah.
like who would have thought? Like a year ago, if you asked me, oh, would it be cool if Lil Yachty dropped a psychedelic rock album? Like, I mean, yeah, it would have been cool, but like I would have told you that's not fucking happening ever. But
A
here we
year
are
ago,
now.
a week
It's
ago.
actually a thing. A week ago.
Um.
We're here now. Let's Start Here is the name of the album. It's dropped recently. And so what do you make of this artistic reinvention for Lil Yachty?
I'll give my abridged thoughts here because by the time this
Abridged.
by the time this podcast is up, I'll have a review of it on my channel. It may already be
Huge.
edited. Just I need to upload it,
Huge.
and also a review of the new Parano. I did two in one day because I'm fucking crazy.
Oh, he
But
gone crazy, he gone stupid.
I liked it. I thought it was quite good. Against all odds, I feel. But I'm not quite as hot on it as a lot of people seem to be. Um, don't get me wrong. A lot of positive aspects to the album, especially from a production standpoint, which is just so out of left field for Yachty, especially even aside from the genre change. It's like a Lil Yachty album being this like meticulously crafted production wise just feels surreal. Um, but Yachty's vocals and the way it's intertwined into the music is sometimes jarring to me, and I've listened to it a few times now, and there's some instances where I once found it jarring. It's kind of eased in on me, and I've kind of come to accept it more. But there's some moments that are just still just not really clicking for me, and some moments of just kind of experimentation that seems ambitious but not really well realized. Specifically, the track, what's it called? It's the one, A Failure. That spoken word interlude was horrendous.
That
um,
that that song is really just an interlude, though.
yeah, I just hate the way it's mixed and weird. Like it almost sounds like the Great Gig in the Sky from from Asda in the background
I
with the
mean,
um
yeah, maybe.
yeah, but there
I
are
mean, the album is obviously influenced by Pink Floyd,
yeah.
but like,
That's one moment where I was like, I this is just yeah, definitely. Um, but overall, I still think it's a strong six. It's a good album. And I enjoyed it thoroughly. But I think it does have flaws that I feel like a lot of people would disagree with me on.
including myself, because I love the album. I won't even lie. like, it's a bit like it's bizarre. Like, obviously, I've said it already. Like, Lil Yachty making a psych rock album is a bit bizarre, a bit out of left field. You wouldn't have expected to happen. It wasn't on my fucking bingo card for 2023. But after I listened to it today, and like, honestly, I loved it. I genuinely thought it was a fantastic album, and honestly, I think it's Lil Yachty's best album to date. I won't even lie.
I agree. I
Like,
agree.
I love the Lil Boat mixtape. It has a special place in my heart. It's a very endearing thing. But like, this is just probably some of the best stuff Lil Yachty has ever made, and I just find it consistently fantastic. Like, I can kind of get some of like your critiques about like some of the vocal quirks and like how they kind of intertwine with the instrumentals, but I don't know what it is about the way Lil Yachty's just kind of walking his way onto the beats like that. But like, man, they just kind of blend really well for me. I love the way they kind of intertwine personally. I think it's really endearing and just kind of like, I don't know, just I just find it really kind of smooth, to be honest. Like, I just think his delivery kind of works well with like the really psychedelic atmospheres, and generally it makes a lot of the songs for me. Like, to be honest,
Hmm.
um, of course, like, obviously from a production standpoint and all that, it's phenomenal. But I honestly think Yachty can make it a lot better for me, and he does that on a lot of songs for me. And it's clear where he got his influences from. There's some Pink Floyd stuff in there, arguably some Tame Impala stuff in there. But like, I think
I
Yachty
feel like anyone
kind of
making neo psychedelia in 2023 would make
Tame
those
Impala
comparisons.
automatically.
Yeah,
But like, but like, there is
yeah. I
like,
mean,
for
yeah,
real
it
this
does make
time,
sense.
for real this time, not like just kind of throwing it there for the sake of it. I think there genuinely is, but at the same time, I think Yachty kind of makes it his own with like the way he kind of delivers his vocals, and like, I don't know, I love that kind of auto-tune vibrato thing that he does now. Like,
Yeah,
since Poland, I just fucking loved it.
that's definitely my favorite of his vocal quirks. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was just
Honestly,
gonna.
I seldom ever find his vocals to be smooth. But
Obviously not,
for
but
me, a lot of the time, the the jarringness, is that a word? I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
Just roll,
the,
just
the
roll with it. Just roll with
it
it.
kind of adds to the psychedelia and surrealism of the album sometimes, but there are times where it just doesn't really do much for me. So
Speak for
I
yourself.
mean, I'm just being harsh. It's still a very very enjoyable album, and I can definitely see where a lot of the praise is coming from, especially because talk about subverting expectations and definitely overachieving are probably the two best ways to describe it, because no one really expects much from Yachty. He's an entertaining figure. He's definitely a likable figure in like the contemporary trap scene. But it's like he's just kind of goofy, and that's we love
I
that
mean,
about
that's
him.
that's
But it
why I
does,
like it.
yeah.
Like,
But it
that's the
doesn't always result
charm
in
of
great
it.
music. But when that goofy personality that everyone knows for that is then releasing a psychedelic rock album, it's I think it definitely raises a few eyebrows, and it definitely has people skeptical. So even despite that, the fact that he's able to release something that is this unanimously praised, I think deserves some extra credit because
Yeah, of
of that
course.
inherent skepticism. Um,
Uh, yeah,
yeah.
and I mean, like, that kind of goofy, kind of outsider personality was always why I liked that Little Boat mixtape.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
You
obviously,
get cold
subverted
like
expectations.
Minnesota,
Like,
cold like Minnesota. It's still my favorite
calling
Yachty song, probably.
Minnesota. Oh, that one goes off. That one goes off. what's it call it? What was it? It was, I think it was like the opening track, where it's like really, the opening track off that tape is also my favorite. Uh, what's it called? It the song that he got famous with, the one that fucking Rice Gum ruined, unfortunately, is still good. But yeah,
Mm.
but like, yeah, this album, I personally loved it. I thought it was actually fantastic, and like probably my first like great album of 2023 for me. Like, this is the first proper album I've listened to from 2023. But like, I was loving it. I won't even lie. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
listen to
mean,
it again tomorrow. I thought it was fantastic for
don't
me
blame
personally,
anyone.
anyway.
Yeah, again, don't blame anyone for thinking that.
So
But
yeah, can we? All right. So what's next now? Who's doing? Who's gonna subvert expectations next?
hmm.
Young boy dropping a Dungeon Synth album.
God, God help us all.
God
Um,
fucking help us all.
I'm thinking Lil Dicky
Okay, where's this going?
drops an album that isn't a comedy album, and
Groundbreaking stuff.
people are like, "Yo, so good," even though it's not. Their expectations are just so low. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Lil Dicky
Yeah,
drops
you
a
know. You...
normal album.
All right.
Actually, fuck it. Lil Dicky drops a Dungeon Synth album.
Kanye drops a black metal
Comedy,
album.
comedy Dungeon Synth. That's new.
Kanye drops a black metal album.
Kanye drops an album and finishes
An
it.
album that
Kanye finishes an album.
Kanye finishes Donda 2.
Yeah, that's never happening.
No,
Um,
no. But yeah,
mhm.
Lil Boat.
Also, if you're going to listen to a second album from 2023, Paranoid dropped.
So I've been told.
Also, a review will be after that one. Stuff promo.
I've already seen it on Album of the Year, so I got you.
Yeah, but you have to really see it.
I ain't gotta see nothing.
Yeah, no, but it's honestly Album of the Year contender most likely. Already, we're in January, and I'm saying
I don't like saying Album of the Year contender in January.
I
Or
mean,
like,
do you know
I don't like doing.
how many albums a year do I generally give a spoiler strong 9 to decent 9? Sorry,
Fair.
it's gonna be
How
up
often
there.
do I do that now? Because I only gave out one fucking 9 last
Also,
year.
Ants from
Two,
Up There was
actually.
released in like February, and everyone was like, "Yeah, this is just decided."
I mean,
so.
to be fair, I did the same thing. I won't even lie. But I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm gonna stop doing that. Wait until like April or something.
That's much better. It makes no difference. It's like, all right,
I don't give a shit. I'm gonna do it anyway, man.
I won't wait 1 month. I'll wait 5.
I'll wait
4.
7
Sorry,
months. Oh,
I can
I
count.
hit my mic. I will wait 7 months.
There's no way that a better album won't be released in the next 11 months, but in the next 6 months, maybe 7 months.
We'll see.
10 months. No.
We'll see.
For now, fucking brilliant. I also recommend that, but obviously,
I will listen to it.
Lil Yachty's the big story this week when it comes.
The big story this week, and for good reason.
Paranoid finally releases another solo album, and Lil Yachty has to drop a fucking psychedelic rock album to steal all his thunder.
All the 14-year-old hip hop Twitter heads are coming to Album of the Year to flood it. Let's go.
All the 15-year-old hip hop heads are listening to prog and psychedelic.
Just because it has Lil Yachty's name to it.
Yeah, they're fucking.
Wow, this Dark Side of the Moon album, it's so good.
They're fucking expecting like walking and trap beats, but
they're expecting fucking
confused.
They're expecting no, they go straight into fucking like animals or something, and they're expecting like fucking shit that Yeesh would make or something.
Yeah.
Where are the ad libs?
Why is there instruments, bro?
Why is the synth not buzzy?
Where's the walk?
Where's Yeesh?
He took the walk to space.
Space walk. Okay.
All
Uh,
right. Do you want to introduce the next segment?
okay, so I had a little bit of an idea a couple of weeks back, and I pitched it to Nostalgia. And basically, we've decided that we're gonna rightfully steal from Pitchfork and do a little bit of a thing
You forgot
called.
about the segment before that segment.
No, I didn't. Shut up.
God,
Yes, I did.
he's
Yes,
getting
I
the
did. Shut up.
segments wrong. But I
Yes,
mean,
I did. Shut
it's
up.
gonna be in the
Yes,
title.
we're gonna.
He
Yes, we're
didn't
gonna.
spoil
Okay,
anything.
yeah,
It'll be in the title.
yeah. All right. Stole from Pitchfork. That's all I said. Also, we're gonna steal from Jerry Seinfeld, and we're gonna talk about the B movie, or just like upload the B movie fully on YouTube. How about that?
Never before done, by the way. So
Yeah, never done before.
we're just
But
pioneers of the podcast space.
no, it's gonna be this episode of the podcast, but vocoded to the B movie. I think that would make for some pretty good content.
No.
No, wait, not for real though. For real though. It what?
Kicked my desk so hard.
Well done. Fucking loser. Yeah. Anyways, Nostalgia was the one who actually pitched this to me, and since for the past couple of years now, me and Nostalgia have been, dipping our toes into jazz and getting to know all the names and faces that we see
I've been
and hear on those
jumping
jazz
straight
records.
in. I've
Yeah,
listened to so much jazz in the last
yeah. I've been
month even.
getting mad into jazz. I still need to explore a ton more, but like with that in mind, we're going to be picking a little sextet of jazz musicians that we would have in our own little band.
Well, sextet. We might want to add more.
Well,
but it was sextet, and then some maybe.
Sextet and the honorable mentions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're just gonna decide on some musicians who we think we should have in this kind of like all-star lineup of musicians that should be in a jazz band.
Yeah.
So
we'll try to keep it one per instrument.
Yeah, of course.
You can have two like saxophone players in a sextet. No.
As long as we give a little mention, I think we'll be okay.
Oh yeah, no, we can give mentions, but only one will survive.
Yeah. So, what instrument do you want to start off with, bud?
I feel like saxophone, probably a big one when it comes to jazz.
Yeah, sax. The sax is obviously a big one. And so, who are you thinking?
This is easy.
Oh
We're
yeah.
on the same page.
You say it first.
Does it begin with a J? Are we on the same page?
No.
Saxophone. Wait. It doesn't begin with a J.
It doesn't begin with a J.
Who you pick? I need to know first.
You go first.
Hold up. I'm trying to decide. Wait, can I do guess who?
Just guess who. Guess who.
Now I'm confused. What? Wait. Is it? Does it begin with an S?
His last name begins with an S.
I'm drawing a blank. So last name. So alright, that's not Sonny Rollins.
Come on.
Just tell me. I'm not gonna get a stuff.
Pharoah Sanders.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Pharoah fucking
that
Sanders.
Makes sense.
Look, I know I just fucking snubbed Coltrane. I know I just did that, and I humbly apologize. But I don't know what it is about Pharoah Sanders, man. But what he does with sax is just otherworldly, and I fucking love his stuff.
It's John Coltrane. Has to be. I mean,
look, Coltrane is also incredible. But I knew you were going to pick Coltrane, so I went with Pharoah Sanders.
You build this sextet or whatever around Coltrane.
To be fair, building this sextet around Pharoah Sanders is probably going to be fucking impossible. If we're being real here.
Yeah, maybe.
Because like Pharoah Sanders was in his own lane. Rest in peace. I
mean, rest in peace to a lot of these as well. The golden era.
Yeah, rest in peace to pretty much
at this point.
Most people.
Decades
at this
ago.
point. Yeah.
I can't. It has to be Coltrane, right? If we're doing a shared one,
Here's the
are we
thing.
doing a
Here's
shared
the
one
thing.
or individual ones?
I think we'll do a shared one. We'll do a
Okay.
shared one. But I'll settle for John Coltrane. Still incredible, incredible. So is Pharoah Sanders. But personally, if I was making my own one, and I would genuinely put Pharoah Sanders in there.
Okay.
We're
Well,
compromising. See,
yeah, fair. Okay, okay.
Coltrane is unreal. So many great records. Same with Pharoah Sanders.
Okay. Surely this one will be without debate. Trumpet.
Miles Davis.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Easy, easy, easy. Miles Davis.
Okay.
Although I think Pharoah Sanders and Miles Davis would be a pretty interesting combo on a record because you know Davis was into his weird shit.
Yeah. No. Definitely a little more akin to what might have actually happened to them.
Yeah, but like
Coltrane.
John Coltrane and Miles Davis were on recordings together, so that's another thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's still like kind of a double edged sword. He would fit in like both artists' kind of bands, I guess.
Yeah. I have to give a shout out to Clifford Brown, personally.
Clifford Brown definitely deserves a shout.
Dizzy Gillespie, Freddie Hubbard. Yeah, well, it has to be Miles.
Yeah, there's someone else that I wanted to mention briefly.
For trumpet.
As far as trumpet goes, it's just kind of escaping me right now, but I will let you know. I'll let you know what I got in a second.
Mm-hmm. What about piano?
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Mr. Postman.
Okay, so yeah, I'll think of it some other time. Anyways, we'll settle for Miles Davis, but there's so many great ones.
Settle.
Well, nah, okay. That was. Ignore what I just said. Ignore what I just said. Ignore what I just said. Ignore what I just said.
I guess he's all right.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Okay, so as far as piano goes, that's a tough one because you got Herbie Hancock. You also got Dave Brubeck. But I'm kind of leaning towards Dave Brubeck. Brubeck.
Okay.
Disagreement? Do we have a disagreement?
Bill Evans.
Good point.
Come on.
I'd go with Dave Brubeck though. I'm more of a Dave Brubeck guy.
Name a more iconic jazz piano record than Kind of Blue.
Ah, fucking hell, man!
Come on.
Don't do this to me.
Well, oh, wait, let me go through some of the albums that Bill Evans has worked on.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Here we fucking go.
Obviously part of the Miles Davis sextet for quite a while. Is there even a page like that? List of.
I mean, for Time Out alone, Dave Brubeck was unreal.
Yeah, I mean, Undercurrents is one of the most underrated jazz albums in my opinion. Well, come on, with I'm looking. Yeah, Kind of Blue. Chet Baker.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, and then his discography. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions, but I feel like come on, Kind of Blue alone.
Mate, don't do this to me. Don't fucking do this to me, please.
So wait, you went with Hancock or Brubeck? I forgot.
Brubeck.
God, that's a good one too.
I know not as remarkable as a resume as Bill Evans, but still, I think he's genuinely one of the best jazz pianists of all time. He's one of my personal favorites. Anyway,
you know what? To keep this interesting, because I feel like if we add Bill Evans, we're just gonna add the fucking lineup. We're just gonna have the lineup for Kind of Blue.
Yeah,
we'll add Brubeck.
Let's go. I win.
What about drums?
Art Blakey. I know you're gonna pick Max Roach.
No, it is between those two. But you know what I'm thinking?
Wow.
Our Blakey is incredible, but Max Roach adds that bit of like, he's got a really unique style within jazz. He's just got, it's just left field, out there. I feel like if you're having a lineup as stacked as this, you either want your drummer to just kind of play to the music and just sit in the background, or you want them to stand the fuck out. And I think Max Roach is that bit of a wild card, you know?
I mean, true, but at the same time, if you actually want some fucking insane improv and a drum sound that's actually like really fucking unique, I'd go with Art Blakey. Like, because I think his style is really unique. I think
Max's
why he
sound is even more unique.
I mean, I
Man's
would say
doing
more
drum
than
solos on the fucking drum stands, like.
I know that's insane and all, but like, come on.
I'll give it. Yeah, all right, Art Blakey. Okay.
Come on, Art
Okay,
Blakey.
okay,
There
okay,
we go.
okay. Bass.
Jazz bassists.
I mean,
Shit.
I think you'll see a name and you'll be like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, go on.
Mingus.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Shout out to Paul Chambers, who was involved in a lot of iconic albums, but this chair is fucking.
There's also someone else that I wanted to mention, but like Mingus clears.
Yeah.
But like, I think the guy I'm trying to think of did actually provided a little bit of double bass on the low end theory once.
I can't tell you.
I'll have a look. I'll check the credits.
I feel like also you could probably add another saxophone player in, because what else do we add? There are like the more off kilter instruments, but we can get to those in a sec. I feel like
we went with
you know what
we
can
went
add.
with Coltrane.
Let's add Pharoah Sanders in there.
Okay, throw Pharoah Sanders in. Okay.
Guitar. If we're gonna go with guitar, Wes Montgomery.
Yeah, Wes Montgomery.
Let's go.
Ron Carter, that's who it was.
The
bassist.
Not familiar. I don't think I've listened to any projects where he's been a leader. But
you know Maiden Voyage by Herbie Hancock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was the jazz bassist.
Okay, yeah. I'm assuming I've listened to things he's done, but not as the leader.
Also, by the way, you got to send me a list of like jazz records that I'm missing out on. By the way.
Oh, fucking load.
Just fucking send them to me. I don't care. I'll go through them.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Milt Jackson on the vibraphone. I love a good vibraphone in jazz. It just sounds so kind of. It adds that kind of ethereal touch to it, and Milt Jackson is self-proclaimed king of the vibes. So.
Okay.
I'd want to add him in there if we're going wacky. What else? A clarinet, maybe? Or some jazz?
Maybe. I'm not.
Clarinet players. See if there's any.
Have a look. See if there's any names that we're familiar with. I think this is really just showing like how limited our knowledge of jazz can be.
Eric Dolphy also does.
Eric Dolphy
play the clarinet, even though he's predominantly a saxophonist.
Very.
I don't know if I've listened to any of his clarinet work, so I can't really judge it.
I don't think I have either. Wait, what about Out for Lunch? Was he just strictly shit? Well, let me check. I'll check the credits out for Out to Lunch.
I don't know. Out to Lunch is an album that makes very good use of the vibraphone, I believe.
Yeah, he played bass clarinet on it.
Bass clarinet?
Yeah,
let's throw him in. Bobby Hutcherson, played vibraphone on Out to Lunch, which maybe we should put him in there instead of Milt Jackson. Just based off that.
We can have. We just include them both.
Two vibraphone players. What are we doing?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
What are we doing here? This is off the rails.
We want to make an off the rails jazz band. Just make it
All
a
right,
complete
2
mess. Boom.
vibraphone players. Fucking
We'll have
don't
2
know.
drummers, 2 vibraphone players,
2
2
drummers.
saxophonists.
This is King
We'll
Gizzard.
have... well, not anymore, because
Yeah, still a throwback.
Still a throwback.
Yeah, I feel like that's it. I will only have 1 vibraphone player for the.
Fine, we'll just have 1.
We'll have Eric Duffy on the clarinet, though. We'll have Coltrane and Pharoah Sanders on a saxophone. We'll have Miles Davis on a trumpet. We didn't agree on Bill Evans. I was about to say Bill Evans. I still can't remember who you said. Hancock?
Dave Brubeck.
Brubeck. Okay. Brubeck on
we said we agreed on Brubeck.
Yeah. My brain was still on Bill Evans.
Jazz guitar, we said Wes Montgomery.
Yeah. Art Blakey on the drums. Milt Jackson on the vibraphone. And yeah.
Okay.
Oh, obviously recorded by Rudy Van Gelder. That's our octet or something.
Something like that. Look, we have a jazz band. Go ham.
Dude. The more if we did include what's it called? Bill Evans, then we'd basically just have the lineup for Kind of Blue and
yeah. See, that's what I was trying to stray away from, because I knew you'd just go for the lineup of Kind of Blue.
But if anything, it's just a testament to how fucking crazy Kind of Blue is.
I know it's legit, like, one of, if not the greatest jazz record of all time. But, like, man, we gotta have some variety here, you know? Yeah. I get it's, like, one of the greatest jazz lineups of all time, but still.
Yeah, it's a crazy lineup.
It's a fucking insane lineup.
But yeah, now it's time for the big final segment.
I already said we stole it from Pitchfork, because fuck them.
Yeah.
But, we're gonna do a little segment that they have on their YouTube called Overrated and Underrated, where we actually asked people in our own community in the Discord server, which you should join, by the way. And we asked them and give us some prompts that we will discuss, say whether they're overrated or underrated in our opinion, and just kind of bounce off of each other, see what we got. And we had a bunch of people in the Discord server put some stuff in here. And you ready?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
All right, first one from the random Sapphire. M83's Midnight City, overrated or underrated?
This one's confusing. I mean, I think it's one of the best synth pop tracks ever made. And I feel like most people also think it's one of the best synth. I feel like it's rated. I feel like we're starting off with a rated.
I don't know. It's kind of ruined by YouTube bloggers for me.
What was that?
I don't fucking know.
Never made that connection in my life. I've never seen a YouTube vlog.
Really? It's been in so many fucking douche tuber vlogs. It's actually insane how fucking popular that song is amongst them. Yeah, I can't really agree. I mean, the song is good, but I hear it all the time in fucking ads, and it was always in douche tuber vlogs, and I was loathing of them. Still am. So it's getting a bit of an overrated from me, even though I like the song.
It's a perfect 10 out of 10 track. It's rated.
Okay, buddy.
It literally is. It's peak pop music. It's rated.
Overrated.
Alright, I mean, fair enough. That's what this is about.
Yeah. Next up, Gijo777 with Ireland. It's from Ireland.
You know what? Underrated, bro.
It's from Ireland.
Yeah, tall. America's like the best country on earth, but every day
fuck that shit.
I realize more and more how fucking sick it is here. It's
we
have it so much better. It's not even funny.
We actually do. We do. In terms of like just everything, I think we have it better. I think
the only downside is the only thing America has on us is Taco Bell, because the things I would do for easily accessible Mexican takeaway,
Yeah.
Alexa, why is Mexican? I said Mexican. Fuck's sake.
Dude, did Alexa really respond to you saying Mexican?
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's
But
sake.
I think, you know what? I've been working for a while now. Never did my taxes. What's that mean? I pay them.
I don't think you should be saying that on camera.
Because here, they just get taken out of my wages automatically. I never have to file my taxes.
File taxes.
What a fucking weird I never think about my taxes. I don't ever see that money. It just they take.
I'm lucky.
It's sick.
I think I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I don't have to do taxes yet.
You won't ever have to do taxes. And that's the thing. You don't do in Ireland. They just get taken out of your wages automatically.
I think that just shows how little I fucking know about taxes. I'm okay with that.
Dude, it's such a fucking grueling process in America.
Also, can we just mention what we have over a lot of people is also just like the outside. Like everything's all fucking green and pretty and shite. Yeah, we have a better landscape. I'll just have to say we have a better landscape.
Downside to that is slurry. I feel
it just stinks of shit. Some
days, maybe like a dozen days a year, all you'll smell all day is cow shit because the farmer next door is spreading slurry.
I literally live in a village and there is fucking slurry everywhere. Like there's like 2 farms that are in this village, and they stink up the place. There's literally a field across the road from me that they use for fucking silage. It stinks.
Yeah, but that's also only a problem in the countryside.
Yeah, yeah.
And most people who are visiting Ireland will probably not spend more than like a week max in the Irish countryside, and they'll probably be in cities and towns. So
yeah.
Ireland also better. Medical cards are so easy to get. You can get a doctor for free. That's sick. I've never paid for a doctor's visit unless it's. I don't think I ever have. I've always had a medical.
I mean, I have, but that was before I got my medical card.
Yeah. And it's so easy to get. So. Crazy.
So yeah, Ireland underrated. Not biased at all.
Yeah, underrated for sure.
All right, next one we have Nick Lyons with albumoftheyear.org. So
overrated.
I knew you were gonna say it.
Inferior
the fucking
website.
RYM goblin right here.
It's the inferior website. Sorry.
It's the better looking website, but you know.
I mean, yeah, on first impressions, it's definitely going to make a better first impression. But I mean, you've been using Rate Your Music for how many years now? Do you even think about the layout?
I do. It still looks like shit.
It's just there.
It still looks like shit. The Rate Your Music layout still looks like shit. Rate Your Music is the better site in terms of the catalog, what you can put on the site, what you can find on the site, the charts, the ratings, all that. Album of the Year is better in terms of the.
It lets you put album titles in italics in your reviews.
But I think Album of the Year is better in terms of the actual community itself, the interface, and just the fact that they actually have a dynamic rating system aside from the fucking star system.
I mean, sure, but also I've rate out of 10 anyways, so the rating system doesn't make any difference to me.
I used to rate out 100, so.
And just, I don't know, I feel like the community aspect of Album of the Year is definitely better, but I feel like it's branched out to like Discord, Twitter. I don't really use it on Album of the Year to really socialize anymore.
Rate Your Music's community is horrendous. I'm sorry, but it is. It is awful
because it's like 10 times bigger, like sample size. Yeah, and also just the average ratings on Album of the Year confuse me sometimes.
Like give an example.
For one, a lot of hip hop and pop seems to be weirdly inflated. Like an album will get.
I mean, I'll agree there. An album especially
will get
like
mild
aspect.
Reviews everywhere. It'll have like a 3.1 on Rate Your Music. It's like it's alright, decent, and it'll have like an 82 on Album of the Year.
Look, especially with pop, I will agree with you on that aspect. But Rate Your Music inflates fucking scores as well. You have to admit that. There are some genres that they will fucking inflate to the fucking death. Think of it. Prog, metal, all of that shit.
Yeah, but again, because of the sample size, there actually has to be and because of the fact that it weighs numbers of ratings so much, there actually has to be a lot of people really liking those albums for it to make a difference, and a lot of people do. And I feel like the metal kind of, to me, it feels like the metal kind of community kind of latched onto Rate Your Music quite early, and so there is a lot of reviews for metal and ratings for metal releases that predate a lot of new Rate Your Music users. That's from as far as I'm aware. Like a lot of reviews on metal albums are like quite old, some dating back to like mid 2000s.
Okay, fair enough.
But I mean, I think it's just a better website.
Look,
mostly
it's better,
because it lets you put album
it's a
titles
better
in
web.
italics.
It's a better website for insert reasons. Album of the year is a better website for insert reasons. Album of the year is underrated though, I think.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I feel like I'd like if more people were using the website, because it would make the charts less of a fucking nightmare. Because right now, I don't think I've ever wanted, or even have you ever looked at the album of the year chart over the Rate Your Music chart to see what's like higher rated?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, at points, yeah. I don't know.
I don't. It's like, do you
I guess
want
it's just more accessible.
Do you want the big sample size, or do you want the small sample size that's biased towards pop and hip hop?
You make a fair point, my friend.
Yeah.
But still, I will say album of the year has its pros. Rate Your Music has its pros. Yeah. But album of the year is underrated.
In the grand scheme of things, yeah, maybe. But compared to its main rival, I guess, it's overrated. I think Rate Your Music's just better.
Yeah.
And the things you witness on Rate Your Music when it comes to the awful community, you don't forget. You know?
Look.
It's beautiful.
Here's the thing, though. As far as community goes, Rate Your Music does have one edge over album of the year, though.
Comedy.
No, not
sheer human like degeneracy.
Yeah, but like Rate Your Music doesn't have the one particular individual on album of the year somehow still has. I think you know, and I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Some people, the real ones out there, will know.
The real ones out there will know.
The most underrated part about Rate Your Music also is a lot of people don't realize that there are comment sections on genre voting, and a lot of the genre voting so funny. People trying to argue why Nirvana's Nevermind is art rock, shit like that.
Oh my fucking god!
So fucking good.
Oh, but like that's just coming from the most terminally online people you'll ever fucking meet ever. Jesus.
Yeah.
It's funny.
That's my favorite part of Rate Your Music, the genre voting comment sections, because that's where the real goblins come out.
All right. Enough about albums of the year and Rate Your Music. AOTY has a couple of them here actually. Marmite.
This is one I'm fucking passionate about. Do you want to say your opinion first?
Overrated.
Dude, it's underrated as fuck. Everyone is just taking spoonfuls of it and going, "Oh, it tastes like shit." Oh, you have to be a fucking insane to eat Marmite like that. That's like taking a whole tablespoon of just pure salt and then saying, "Oh, salt is kind of bad, bro." You're literally meant to butter up toast and put a fucking tiny speck of, like, a pea-sized speck of Marmite and spread it across the toast. That's how you eat it. If you're gonna, like, get a fucking chug a glass of fucking sriracha and then go, "This is so bad." Just eat it like it's meant to be eaten, and it's actually pretty good. No one's eating it like that though. Everyone's just eating spoonfuls of it and going, "Oh wow, it's so bad." I think it's
only a spoonful.
Never a spoonful. If you're eating it with a spoonful, it is horrific. Eat it like you're supposed to eat it, and it tastes good. It's just no one's eating it like it's supposed to be eating. So in
Well,
that case, I think it's underrated because it's actually pretty good.
I've tried it with the proper way you're supposed to do it. Spread it on a bit of toast, and I did not like it.
That's fair
I
enough,
thought
but
I
most
thought
people
it.
don't get that far.
Yeah, most people don't get that far because they're fucking morons, and I didn't like it. Simply put, because I don't like the way it tastes. Simple
Okay,
as.
I respect your
And it's been years since
judgment.
I've actually had any Marmite. But for now, I don't like it. I think that the bad rap it gets is deserved. But I also have to say the people who over hate on Marmite are fucking morons because you're right, they're eating it wrong.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I respect your
so yeah,
opinion because you actually
yeah,
have tried it the proper way. Most people
yeah.
don't get that far.
So in that regard, I think it's overrated.
I think it's underrated.
Hmm. Okay, so we got another one from Vittorio. Um, and this one is music related. So it's Lulu by Lou Reed and Metallica. And interesting to note because it's probably one of the most polarizing albums of all time.
And I
I
think
think
we're on
it's
the same page here.
I think it's underrated.
I think it's underrated.
There we go.
I
There
think
we
it's
go.
a pretty good album.
I actually do think it's a pretty good album. I think the reason why it's so hated is because Metallica fans were expecting a Metallica album and not a fucking Lou Reed album. Like
And you
it
know what?
literally only gets it literally only gets that rap because of that. Because they expect Metallica to put out the same basic bitch like kind of thrash metal and what's call it like alternative metal that they've been putting out for years, but like putting it together with old man's spoken word behind heavy like instrumentals is like, ugh, this is the worst thing I've ever heard. It's awful, man. Why can't Metallica go back to when they were good and did thrash metal instead of selling out? Like, mate, you're about as shallow minded as any fucking human could be if you think that way. I'm sorry, but it's
Yeah.
true. I think it's underrated. Plus, if we're actually going by the quality of the music, there's actually some really fucking good
Mm-hmm.
songs on that album. Obviously, some memeable ones.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yeah.
first couple of tracks are fucking hilarious because of how fucking stupid some of the lyrics are. I am the table. Like,
Yeah.
come on, how can you not laugh at that? But
um.
like, come on, Junior Dad is unreal. That song is
Yeah.
insanely good.
Yeah.
So in that regard, I think Lulu is underrated.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree. I think they deserve way more credit. Metallica do for during a period in time where they were as safe as a metal band could possibly be. Time after time, they were like, "Fuck it, let's do something completely fucking different." Uh, they had to have known that their fan base was gonna fucking hate it. This was most certainly a passion project, and yeah, I mean, it took some balls to fucking try and do with a fan base as fucking rabid as theirs. Um, and yeah, ultimately, I mean, there's some moments which are they
Yeah,
just don't click. I mean, it is a very ambitious album, and with that, oftentimes comes just some bumps in the road. But
yeah, of
ultimately, it's
course.
a
And
very entertaining project. It has some really great moments, like you mentioned. Um, and yeah, it's genuinely the hate baffles me. I understand it completely from Metallica fans who just want to be spoon fed the same thing, and I like obviously understood at the time why it was so polarizing, but I'd expect more people by now to have kind of come around to it, but it still seems to like the consensus still largely seems to be that this is wank. Like the average rating
yeah,
on Rate Your Music is still below a 2. Just
that's criminal.
horrific, and
That is genuinely
it's
criminal.
my opinion. It's just it's. I mean, I can see why some people wouldn't like it, but even then, it's
It's not
it's
below a
not
two.
aggressively bad. It's seldom
Yeah,
aggressively bad, and
it's genuinely one of the most overhated albums ever. Like
mhm.
genuinely, and the hate still baffles me to this day. Like it's genuinely a pretty solid album. Like I don't understand. It's probably one of the more interesting albums Metallica made post the Black Album. Like it's still insane that it gets the hate that it does. But
Yeah,
and even then, like I think post interviews that that Metallica did, they all mentioned how they fucking loved working with Lou Reed. and like the set and how emotional the sessions were apparently. So
Yeah,
like just to say that like this
that's it.
project was like
Passion project.
it
Nothing
is a
more.
passion project. Like there's nothing more, nothing less. And like sure, there is memeable moments, obviously. But like this quality like it doesn't deserve to be as shat on heavily as it does. So yeah, with that in mind, Lulu's mad underrated, I think.
Underrated.
Come on, it's better than fucking Load and Reload. You gotta give it that. It's better than fucking Load and Reload.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, okay, next one
I
we
might have
have
to
from
scroll down a
Payton.
bit because they gave us like a more specific
Yeah,
one.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
Ah, yeah.
I was about to mention that. So they said anything by Lil Yachty, which was like a bit confusing. I'm not sure exactly what they were asking,
Cause like
but
I was
I
like,
think what
I don't.
like
There's no Lil Yachty track called anything.
like
That's what I was
like I,
thinking for a second.
like I was so confused when they typed that. But when they replied, they said the Lil Boat trilogy as a whole is incredibly underrated. So I think what they mean is like generally is Lil Yachty underrated.
Well,
I think that's
I
what
thought
they
we were
mean.
thinking about the little. We have a kind of more focus on the Little Boat trilogy.
Okay, fine, fine. We'll
Yeah.
just hone in on that. But like maybe afterward we'll talk about is Lil Yachty overrated underrated. As far as the Lil Boat trilogy goes, it's not really rated. Like the first one is the only one that's really rated. Like the other two are not really rated at all. They're often pretty much like
Might I add,
overlooked.
rightfully so.
Yeah, like Lil Boat 2 is not very good at
Wank.
all.
It's wank. Little
Lil
Boat
Lil
3
Boat
is meh.
Lil Boat 3 is aggressively mid. Like Lil Boat 1 I still love. I think it's a great mixtape, but like Lil Boat 2 is at points unsalvageable. And Lil Boat 3 is just a whole lot of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So like I like even then like it's weird calling it overrated because no one really rates the second and the third one like at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the first one is underrated because I actually think it's quite good. And
Okay, so are we actually in the individual albums now or what?
no, I'm pointing out that the first one is underrated, but I think the other two are
Okay,
very good.
fine, good. Yeah, yeah. The first one is underrated, to be fair.
The
The other
rest,
two,
nah,
yeah,
nah,
yeah, they can go in the
fuck off,
fucking bin.
fuck that,
Fuck off.
fuck
But
that.
as far as Lil Yachty as a whole, what do you think?
I mean, underrated. I feel. Even though
I mean,
the thing is, excluding the new album, which is obviously we talked about in detail, it's completely exceeded expectations. If we're thinking about let's think about his hip hop output. Um, there's so much of it that I think is objectively bad. But
Teenage
yeah,
Emotions,
but it's
Lil
just
Boat 2,
she sucked my dick like
like,
a cello. Like, come on, how can you
oh,
hate it? It's bad music, but there's something about him. Just
like here's the thing. Here's the way I feel about it. I think Lil Yachty as a whole, bit underrated, and that mainly goes to the fact that when we're talking about trap, like the context of trap, like bring out every single artist you think of. Like most of them are rinse and repeat and sound the fucking same. No one really sounds like Lil Yachty,
yeah,
if we're being real here. Lil Yachty stands out. I think Lil Yachty has you know you're listening to Lil Yachty instead of like Gunna Clone 47, and
yeah, and also
he's unique
if
for that reason alone. Plus, in the context of when he blew up, like the whole like 2016 SoundCloud wave, he was by far the most unique out of them all. So
yeah, and it seems
I
like
think
there's
he's underrated in that regard. Like he's objectively made horrible music. Objectively.
but
No point.
objectively it's funny.
It's funny.
It's not like
It's
nav
funny.
horrible.
It's obviously not. It's not fucking like
It's
young
like
boy horrible. But like
it's like you
it's
can
funny.
listen to it and
It's
enjoy
it's
it bad.
like it's horrible, but it's funny. It's objectively bad, but it's funny. But like there's also like if we're counting Lil Boat 1 and the new album, they're both really good. Everything else, take or leave.
Mm.
But like
And it's some
I think
amazing
I think
singles between Broccoli with Dram, Poland.
yeah, broccoli, Poland, yeah. So and for that like uniqueness alone, I think it's underrated in the trap field.
Yeah. And also in the trap field, it seems like seldom like it's this like you have to be this like certain persona, money, weed, drugs, just street smart. You can't show any personality. Motherfuckers out here like sucking on
All
cellos,
I'm
rapping
innocent.
over fucking the Mario load screen. He
Oh,
just doesn't care.
yeah.
There's
He's himself. He's
yeah.
himself, and you
His
can't fault him for
personality,
that.
personality, I think, oftentimes in mainstream trap. Obviously, there's some like amazing, especially in the early days of trap. There's some amazing like Flocka where personality is just oozing out of him. But
Same with Young Thug as well.
in like the
But
really
like,
mainstream stuff, I'm every time I say this, I'm thinking of fucking YoungBoy. There's just no personality. It's so devoid of
absolutely
it.
none. Because
Yachty always had
trap is just
personality.
yeah. Because like trap is like a never-ending cycle of people just copying, 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 copying. Like there's so many people that fucking copy Future and Young Thug. Now there's a lot of people just copying Carti. Like the clones never
Yeah.
stop. The
Just a
clones
lot of
never
Travis
stop.
Scott copies as well.
Yeah, there's so many fucking
Yeah.
Travis Scott clones. It's actually insane. But you
no
never
one's
hear
no
a
one's
Lil
bold
Yachty
enough to
clone.
yeah, no one's bold enough.
Yeah, no one is bold enough to actually try and like be, sound like Lil Yachty because Lil Yachty is himself. He's kind of an outsider in trap, which makes him
And
stand out. So
honestly, probably rightfully so. I think if anyone else tried to be Lil Yachty, it would be just embarrassing for them.
imagine if fucking Future tried to be Lil Yachty for a
yeah.
day.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree. Underrated. He's definitely a personality.
Yeah, absolutely. On that front, Lil Yachty is so underrated. I just can't hate the guy. He's so lovable.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have anything else to add to that,
No,
or
no,
will
no.
we move
We've
on?
got loads to get to. So
Yeah, we have a bunch of ones here from I can't think of a username.
there's one before.
Oh
A
yeah,
few
shit.
before actually.
Oh, a bunch. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay. I was it's because of the replies. Charlize comes up with this one. Dan's Manatee by Animal Collective.
Rated. It's a mistake. Everyone knows it.
Here's the thing. I think I'd appreciate it more now, years later. I won't even lie. Because
I
like,
don't know. I don't think I
remember when
would.
we did, remember when we did the worst to best on Animal Collective
Yeah.
years ago, and like I genuinely hated the album. I feel like I won't really mind it as much anymore. Like obviously it's not going to be like fucking god tier in Animal Collective's discography, and at points it's still shit. But like I won't think it's as bad.
I will.
Like
I mean, in theory, it's one that's better in theory than in practice. Because I mean, it sounds bad. I mean, it sounds bad. There's nothing.
I mean,
There's nothing that can. It sounds bad objectively. I
yeah,
think to
yeah,
me.
obviously,
I
but like,
mean,
I feel like I won't be as hard on it as I was before. But like it's still not a very good album in my opinion.
but I never wanted to be hard on it. If
I
anything, I
never
I
wanted
like
to
my hot
either.
takes, but it's just
Why the fuck would I want to be harsh on Animal Collective? Why? But like, yeah.
yeah. This one just has us
Uh,
confused because I haven't listened to it in like 3 years. I don't think we
I
ever
don't want to
did.
call it underrated because I genuinely don't think it's underrated,
From what
and
I
I won't say
remember,
overrated. I
rated,
won't say overrated because like fucking two people like it. So yeah,
rated,
rated, rated. I refuse to pick between the two. Now for manatees, the actual animal,
underrated. They're goaded.
under fucking rated.
They're so funny.
Goated ass animal. They're just so fucking funny. They're just so wholesome. I love them. I want to hug a manatee.
Up there. Possibly one of the funniest animals.
Absolutely.
It can
Fuck
do it's
capybaras. Fuck
any
capybaras. Manatees are funnier.
no capybara manatees are just swimming capybaras. They're both in this S tier.
Yeah, I know, but
The
like I'm trying to
funniest
say,
thing that they can do, both of them, is just exist. It's so funny.
there. It's actually it perplexes me. These creatures are real, but like they're so funny. Look
Are
at
you just looking
like
at the GIF over and over again?
yeah, I'm looking at the gif. Just look at him. That's a cute boy.
It's just, yeah, I mean,
Um.
smell like shit though. Have you ever been at a fucking like seal or manatee enclosure at a zoo?
Oh yeah. All the
Jesus
fucking
fucking
all the
Christ!
fucking water enclosures smell like shit. What do
It
you
makes them
expect?
funnier.
They smell like shit. Makes them funnier.
Yeah, it's funny.
That just sounds kind of rude, bro.
It's funny.
Why? How are you going to tell this boy that he smells like shit right to his face?
He knows it.
How fucking dare you?
If he
How
was
much of a
like,
sad human being
if he was
that do
of
you have to
higher
be to
intelligence,
put him down like that?
if he was of higher
What, you're calling
intelligence,
him dumb now? Wow, you're calling him dumb now. Wow. Wow, can we get justice for the
he wouldn't
fucking
be funny
manatees?
if he was out here doing
Jesus.
fucking arithmetic, bro. Be
To be fair,
boring.
they're
What a
better than
square.
to be fair, they're better than dolphins.
Dude, dolphins are fucking
Also,
sick.
dolphins are cool, but also, can we mention how fucking vicious dolphins actually are?
Yeah.
They're more vicious than
Yeah,
sharks.
but I don't focus on that part because they're fucking mad. You know, dolphins have organized sport.
They do. I know.
Yeah, with spectators. It's fucking crazy, dude. The fucking
Fucking
Dolphin
what?
Olympics. It's real.
It's awesome. But like, yeah, manatees underrated.
Yep.
All right, we got a bunch from Aubrey. Shout outs to the most based patron that we have.
AOTY.
Yeah. So we have drumless as the first one, as in the genre of rap, drumless.
It's hard. I feel like some of the most acclaimed projects in hip hop of the last few years have been drumless projects. I'm not. You can't really say it's underrated. Um, I don't
I
know.
mean,
You know,
I mean, when
I'm
I
thinking
mean,
of like
when,
projects like the new Billy Woods albums, for example,
yeah,
which
the way that I
everyone
see it,
is absolutely
the way,
adoring, and I really like them, but like 7 out of 10 level. So I guess by
yeah.
definition, I guess to me overrated, but I don't think that at all. I don't mean it.
I
Um,
mean, when I think about drumless, I'm always obviously thinking about like Billy Woods, Lucid, people like there's some Griselda stuff that's drumless basically, Boldy James, pretty much anything the Alchemist produces. And I fucking love drumless personally. I think it's actually just like it could be high, it could be like S tier for me as far as like what you could do with drumless beats.
hmm
The beats, what, and if you got to be fucking an unreal rapper to actually like flow over drumless beats, I have to say.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times they are. A lot of stuff in the underground does it. Maybe not as prominent in the mainstream as it is, but like still, I think it goes a bit underrated as far as like I guess some projects are that are drumless are critically acclaimed, like the aforementioned new like Ethiops from Billy Woods is one to mention. But like as far as underrated goes, I think more people should know about it. I
hmm
suppose. Like I think it needs a better. I think it should get a reputation, like say what the Griselda sound has, pretty much. I think as far as popularity goes, but I get like drumless is like obviously not for everyone. Like you got to have some drums in there at some point, but I think drumless is underrated.
Yeah, I think it definitely has a lot of potential. I mean, it's it's only now I'm sure it's been around for ages, but it's only now really picking up steam.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, if anything, it opens up a new possibilities for hip hop and what you can do and what you can flow over. Um,
Also,
so I guess
also
yeah,
just
it's rated. I don't want to call it overrated at all because I don't mean it.
I'd also just like to mention like real quick. Um, I'm an absolute sucker for hip hop samples, obviously, and like hip hop sample loops. And I think like the fact that you can make something that is ethereal without drums in the samples just also makes it huge for me. So there's that. But I'd go underrated personally. And all
I would
right,
just
what
say
do you think
rated.
is? Oh, fine. What do you think of slugs?
Fucking
Underrated or
hate
overrated?
cunts. Just hate
Yeah,
them.
I hate slugs too. I hate slugs so much.
I
They're
There was a point in my life at my family's house when years ago where I don't know what happened, but there was about a week or a month period where somehow slugs were getting into the kitchen from underneath the one of the cabinets from outside
ugh,
every day for like a week
ew.
straight, and it was the most traumatic week of my life. I couldn't sleep upstairs, knowing that every time you went down to the kitchen, and they would all congregate like they've got their own fucking I don't know
Oh, that's
communities.
fucked up.
You'd go down and there'd be like 6 slugs on the fucking kitchen floor
Oh
for
my
a week
god.
straight, and still sometimes I think about that, and I can't believe I slept in that house knowing that. Shit.
Ugh.
I saw one. I remember just like walking down to get a fucking oven pizza at 3 a.m. as you do, and just seeing one just poke its head out from underneath the cabinet and just being like, God, there is no God. God has abandoned us. Yeah, no, I hate slugs.
I hate slugs too. In the
But
hallway,
I do
like
not
that's
advocate for putting salt on them. It's cruel.
I wouldn't do that as well. I just flush them down the toilet.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Let them swim.
but yeah, slugs. I hate slugs. You've been to my house, you know, like the hallway leading to my room.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes slugs would appear there out of fucking nowhere. But I think we knew the source of where they were coming from. They were coming from one of the fucking vents in the bathroom. I don't know how they fucking got up there, but they get in there, and they just kind of fucking. They were around the bathroom at times. They were in the fucking. Ugh, they were in the hallways. I think one time at 3 a.m. I went to go to the bathroom, came out, checked if the front door was locked because sometimes well, we forget to lock the front door somehow. But then there's fucking slug right underneath me, and I'm just like, Jesus fuck, why are you here, you little shit?
Yeah.
Always would either go in the bin or in the fucking toilet.
I'd always toss them onto the grass outside.
Yeah, but there's also sometimes that I think they rarely appeared in the kitchen, but when they did, it was still just fucking rotten.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, slugs, I hate them. They're little fucking goobers, and I don't like them.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah. Captain Morgan, overrated or underrated?
I mean, I don't know what the general consensus on Captain Morgan is, but I think it's like objectively probably the best tasting spirit or liquor for the Americans.
It was the first thing I ever drank.
I mean, mix it with Coke and it just tastes like you shouldn't be able to get drunk off it. It just tastes really
I
good.
drank it raw, by the way.
That's
Like
a
no
little
mix
rough,
no mix
but
event.
it's still
Yeah,
the best
mate.
tasting one compared to tequila or
Yeah,
even like
it
white
is.
rum.
I still really like it from time to time. Patty as well. I think Patty is underrated though, that one. But like as far
That's
as
a
Captain
whiskey.
Morgan, yeah, it is a whiskey.
Patty,
But like
just buy
Patty's
Jameson.
underrated whiskey.
It's
Patty's an
fine.
underrated whiskey.
It's
But
not
like
Jameson.
as far as I think it's better than Jameson personally, but as far as well yeah, as far as Captain Morgan goes, yeah, I like Captain Morgan, but I wouldn't call it underrated or anything because you know everyone knows what Captain Morgan is. I'd assume.
I guess rated then, yeah. But it is
Yeah, rated would make more sense.
good shit, yeah, good stuff. Mix with Coke. I mean, Coke and Captain Morgan were made for one another.
I have a few of those in a few weeks, huh?
Ah, all right.
All right.
Jaeger bombs. We're doing
So,
Jaeger bombs again, dude.
fuck's
That
sake,
pub,
I
the
want
pub at Mick's house, at near Mick's house, at Mick's house, yeah.
to. Yeah, I have a
You got
pub
a
in
pub
my
in his
house.
backyard. It's the first place I've ever been to where you ask for a Jaeger bomb, and they just like mix it like a cocktail, the Jaeger and the Red Bull, but it's actually really good. I mean, I really like it. Generally, I mean, there's a whole ceremony to it. But yeah,
Yeah.
bussin'. Even if you mix it, when you do it the normal way, you don't really get to enjoy the flavor.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Aubrey.
Thank you.
And we have a bunch here from I can't think of a username. A lot here. 3 of them start with John. First one, John Cena, the wrestler, the actor. You know John Cena. Bing Chilling.
Yeah, he's basically he's basic. This is an over exaggeration, but it's like what Steven Seagal is to Russia, he is to China.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah, no, it's not
It's
that
true.
far gone, but
It's true. But like John Cena also is basically like Hulk Hogan, but like modern Hulk Hogan, I guess. Because like he's pretty much like he was pretty much the biggest wrestler ever. Like when he was at WWE, I think he still is sometimes, but like he's more so acting than doing wrestling anymore.
I mean, I
But like
can't talk about him as a wrestler because I never gave a shite about wrestling.
I was
Um,
an absolute wrestling fanboy when I was a kid. I fucking loved WWE and all that shit. And John Cena was my favorite wrestler. He even winked at me IRL when I went to go see a wrestling show and I was like 11.
crazy how you could see that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fucking insane. We were behind like the hotel where they were hosting the wrestling event, and then a bunch of wrestlers were there. Some I think a bunch of them gave me thumbs ups. Another one, um, yeah, John Cena just looked in my direction, gave me a wink. Fucking greatest thing ever when you're an 11-year-old boy who's obsessed with wrestling.
What about as an
But
actor?
oh, he's a shit actor, no doubt.
Overrated.
No,
But
no,
he's
he's
going to
not
keep
bad.
landing big roles,
Look,
I think, because he's
look,
John
he's not a
Cena.
bad actor. He's not a bad
Yeah,
actor
but he
by
can
any
play
means.
one character.
Yeah,
John
I mean, he
Cena.
was. He was good in his role in the newest Suicide Squad
Yeah,
movie
because
and
he
the
played
series they
John
made about
Cena.
him. No, he didn't play John Cena. John Cena doesn't swear. I'm sorry,
He played
but but no, he
18
played
plus John Cena.
18 plus John Cena. No, but I can't remember who exactly he played, but he's actually good in that role. Aside from that, a lot of movies are just like, yeah, but
Yeah, but he's just.
it's just like mid tier
I feel
Hollywood
like he's just
movies
going to
that he's
turn
in.
into The Rock, where he just plays one
I mean,
character, a
I don't think
variation
he'll
of
get
one
it.
character. He's not
I
going to
mean,
get as
true,
many
but
roles because he's not as
he's not going to
talented of
be
an actor. But
he's not going to be as big as The Rock or as marketable as The Rock, but like
yeah, but
still, it's John Cena.
he's going to be in that like same field, same or like Adam Sandler back in his heyday, where he was just basically playing the same character but slightly different in different movies.
I mean, look, Adam Sandler dropped some fucking hot garbage movies, but like, I actually have nostalgia for a couple of them. Happy Gilmore. I really love Happy
Yeah, Happy
Gilmore.
Gilmore, I like. Billy Madison, I used to like as a kid, but I feel like I'd fucking hate it now.
I need to rewatch it. Um, I think I also liked The Waterboy, but like, I don't know. We'll see. Also, can I just mention how good Adam Sandler is in serious roles, like Uncut Gems?
Yeah, it's so
He was fucking
it makes
unreal.
all the fucking shitty roles so much harder to swallow.
It makes it
He
makes that
could,
era of Adam Sandler look like a fucking fever dream.
he could, but he won't. We should move
I
on because there's
mean,
a few to get to.
yeah. John Mayer, guitarist John Mayer. Um, I mean, like as far as his like general discography is and like his artistry, a bit. I suppose like no one really rates it. I guess
I feel like it's
technically.
overrated. I just
I'm thinking overrated, but like no one really rates John Mayer's
I don't know.
work that much.
They kind of do. He's got so many fans, and I guess objectively he's a great guitarist, but I mean he doesn't. It doesn't really do much for me.
He doesn't really show it in his music. That's what I'm gonna say. Like in live sets and in like live performances, he will absolutely blast out some great stuff on guitar. But like as far as his like actual music goes, he just kind of sticks with the kind of singer songwriter shtick, and it doesn't really hit the same. So in that regard, a bit overrated, I'd say. But like as a guitarist, he's still a great guitarist.
Yeah, I mean I'd say overrated. Don't care much for his music.
Fair enough. John Travolta.
Rated?
No, John Travolta's funny. John Travolta's very funny.
Surely
Have
one
you
of the
seen?
most iconic art actors of all time. I don't know how you can underrate
It's.
him.
I mean, John Travolta has went really downhill after the 90s, and
But
actually kind of before,
no one
and actually
talks about
kind of
him.
before, and actually kind of before Pulp Fiction as well. But like,
Yeah, but
did
you
you know
remember
he
him
was?
for
But did you
those
know
movies.
he? But did you know he was the lead role in a movie? No, no, this is a lead role in a movie that was directed by Fred Durst, and the character he played
I heard about this. Yeah.
was someone who was meant to have like severe autism, and it's offensively bad. It's offensively bad. And there's also the fucking movie he was in where he played John Gotti, like the gangster, and that movie was fucking horrific as well. It's like not very good. Like all he does now, he just gets memed on because of like how many bad movies he's in now, and like how just kind of fucking rock bottom his career has become. There's also just like loads of other memes about him, but like at the same time, he'll be most known for Pulp Fiction and Grease and all that sort of shit. So
Yeah, but
like,
to that I say, who the fuck's watching those shit movies?
just people who are into movies that want to shit on things, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Like,
watch most of them.
exactly. You literally only need to watch fucking Pulp Fiction.
He's John Travolta rated. He's John
John,
Travolta.
he's John Travolta. He's John Travolta. Uh, I don't know what okapis are. What is that?
Cappies, they look like
Okapis.
slightly stunted giraffes.
Wait, what?
They're an animal.
Let
I'm
me have a
assuming,
look at these boys.
unless it's a band.
Let me have a look at these. I think he actually means the animal.
Oh, then I guess underrated if you're having to Google it.
Yeah, maybe.
I
They
think
look
that
they
by
look cool.
definition underrated. Then yeah, underrated.
They look pretty cool. They look pretty unique. I've never seen one of these before. They look pretty sick. The fucking zebra stripes in their legs and shit. That looks cool. Yeah, underrated.
The circus. I'm assuming it's not the
That-
Charlie Chaplin film.
I'm assuming just circuses in general.
Over
Maybe.
fucking rated. You know what the best part about the circus is?
What?
Seeing the actual thing from the outside in like some fuck off parking lot and being like, that's cool that they built that. On the candy and the fucking cotton candy.
Excuse me.
But it's fucking shite. Like,
I mean,
yeah,
I don't. I don't.
If you're a kid, it's magical, but
I mean, I don't hate a circus. I used to really like going to circuses when I was a kid, obviously. I'm not opposed to going to a circus, but like, I don't know, I just wouldn't really go unless like I was going with someone or something like that. That's like the only reason I probably that's like the only reason I go to a circus, but I won't call them overrated. I got to be on top of a fucking elephant once at a circus.
okay, well, if you can.
I need to find that photo. I need to find that photo of myself actually, but like that was probably one of my favorite moments as a kid. I got to be on top of a fucking elephant.
Do you think that elephant is living its best life?
Obviously not.
Yeah,
Obviously fucking not. Circuses treat animals horribly. I know that. So
overrated.
Fine. I had no opinion, but since you brought that up, fine.
Last one.
QR codes.
Overrated, dude. Just give me a fucking passcode or something. How often do you scan a fucking QR code to go some?
I scan it every day when I don't want to input my password into Discord in college.
I just type it in.
Underrated. Overrated. QR codes are underrated.
I get the
I don't
option
care.
to
Underrated.
use them. I never do.
I get the option to use them. I always do.
Duality of man.
Skill issue.
No, fucking just type, bro.
Nah, skill issue. Skill issue. What if I don't want to type? What if I just want to whip out my phone and scan?
Okay, well, what's your fucking password to the fucking pi with all of its digits? Fucking its first 70 digits.
It's the Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to type it all out.
Change
So that's why I use the QR code. Why'd you give away my password like that, bro?
Log on now and save money.
Log on now and take my fucking HelloFresh subscription. Okay, so yeah, underrated.
Overrated.
You stink. Anyways, why am I getting so heated over fucking QR codes? What's wrong with me?
QR code fan.
I'm a passionate QR code user. And that's it for all the user suggested ones. Do you want to throw some back and forth?
I didn't think of any, to be honest. But if you want to,
didn't either. I didn't either. But just look at objects around you and like think. Anything.
I don't fucking know.
Anything, man.
Fucking nothing interesting here.
Pokemon.
It's rated. I mean, why would I fucking say Pokemon's underrated?
No, I'm gonna say Pokemon's overrated.
What Pokemon games have you played?
Fair point. Mate.
Sorry.
I had no opinion.
Yeah, no. Also,
Like,
fuck. You know
I
what?
didn't really care. What?
Bruh. You know maturing is realizing that Bulbasaur is the best Gen 1 starter. This might not mean anything for you, but fuck Charmander. Just boring, dude. Normie pigs. Squirtle's kind of cool, but that's mostly because water type is fucking OP. Bulbasaur is by far the best Gen 1 starter, and it took years for me to come to terms with that because I used to be a Squirtle OTP one trick.
Squirtle's still better. Okay.
No, Bulbasaur. He's so cute,
No,
and he's so
Squirtle.
cute in the anime.
I want to beat the shit out of Bulbasaur.
No.
I'm an awful.
We're ending this. We are ending
I'm an awful person.
We are
okay. Fuck's sake.
Bulbasaur, underrated. Best Gen 1 starter. Also,
better.
fucking
Anyways.
Bulbasaur spanks the first 2 gyms, and by the time you get to the 3rd, you're gonna have a fucking more Pokemon than just the one. So,
but you don't go to the gym. I can't talk. I can't fucking talk.
Let's end it.
I can't fucking
Let's
talk.
end it. It's come off the rails, dude.
I'm coming out swinging.
You can say what you want about me, just don't talk shit about Bulbasaur ever again. You fucking hear me?
No, I will talk shit about Bulbasaur if you piss me off. How about that?
Bro, you'll evolve into Venusaur, you'll be fucked.
I don't give a fuck. Fuck your Pokemon bullshit.
Also, play a Pokemon game. Like,
Buy me a Nintendo Switch.
You don't even need emulator on your phone. 10 seconds. You can play.
Yeah, emulator.
You can play Gen 1 on your phone within 5 minutes. You can play Gen 1 up to like 5 on your phone.
Here's a deal that would benefit both of us. Okay? Buy me a Nintendo Switch and a Pokemon game.
What
And
the
I
fuck
got
is...
you.
Also, don't start with the most recent one.
Listen. It will benefit you because you'll be supporting your friend.
I don't even have the new Pokemon. Also, start with Gen 1.
Isn't the new Pokemon unplayable, though?
It's very much playable. It's just... I mean, everyone I know who's played it fucking loved the game, despite the glitches and stuff. And said it was.
I'm too busy playing Dead Space.
Some of the most fun they've had with the Pokemon game, but the fact that there are glitches is kind of ridiculous.
I'm too busy playing Dead Space. I'll get back to you on that.
Just start with just Gen 1.
No.
Alright, no, or not even Gen 1. The Gen 1 remakes probably the best place to start. Fire Red.
No.
Okay.
Fine, I'll fucking play it.
Dude,
okay?
You can fucking play it while taking a shit. You can play it in bed. You can play it in the car. It's on your phone. It's sick, dude. You can be playing Flappy Bird instead, bro.
Bruh, no. You know what I will be playing, though? Subway Surf, because that game is goated. I don't care.
Temple Run, bro.
Temple Run's good.
Bro,
Subway Surf is better.
My face went Temple Run.
Flying Gorilla.
Flying Gorilla. This is
go.
so off the rails. We're almost at 2 hours.
Really? 2 hours? Oh, shit.
Yeah, 1 hour 50. Oh, I just realized you did not have the time this whole time. I was like, Meg's really going off the rails at 1 hour 50. this guy's insane.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a long episode of Lads on Tape, episode 2. Thank you so much for watching. Really hope that you enjoyed. Please do us a favor. And if you enjoy our content and want to support us, please donate to our Patreon, where you will get amazing perks. As well as that, join our Discord server and meet like-minded individuals who love music like you do, as well as movies and games and sports and all that kind of shit. Join now! Also, album of the year and rate your music in the description. As well as that, we have a new taped podcast, The Cure, Worst to Best. Great episode. Watch it. Bye-bye.
Also, I did 2 reviews on my channel. Come. Stan Eugene's. Stan Eugene's for Blackpink.
Ignore.